Let's talk a little about your Outschool application. If you've already heard me talk a little bit about Outschool, most of this should be pretty self-explanatory, but I do want to go through it with you just to make you feel a little bit more confident. So when you go to Outschool and you click Apply to Teach, first of all, they provide a lot of resources before you get to this page to give you some background about Outschool and an example class to watch, and other things that might help you make these decisions. So do take advantage of what they've provided here. The first thing that you're going to do is fill out your name and your basic information. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then this is the section where you really have to be thoughtful. So remember that this is not it's not like making a Facebook profile. You are applying for a job. You're applying to have Outschool's name behind you. So take your time to be thoughtful in these sections. There are 3 sections here that are pretty similar but have different purposes. So the first one asks you to talk about how you have interacted with children, especially, or learners in general. And that could be classroom experience, or that could be volunteer experience, or anything else. But this box is not so much about your professional degrees and training as it is about your experience. So even if you are a certified teacher, you'll see down here, there's a place to add teaching credentials, certification, academic background, those kinds of things. Up here, they want more of a narrative about your experience in the classroom, or your experience volunteering, or babysitting, or running the Girl Scout troop, or whatever it is that you've done that makes you feel like this would be a good fit for you. If it's not directly related to teaching children, that's fine, but help them understand why you see the connection between those things. Okay? This middle box is where you're going to talk about how you're going to transition what you have done and what you know, if you have credentials, into what you're going to do on Outschool. Okay, so this is a general idea of the topics you're interested in teaching, the kinds of classes you might want to run, and what you see about Outschool that you think will work well for this subject area and this topic. Why are you passionate about teaching these things? And you can also work in why you think it'll work well on Outschool here. Again, these don't need to be giant essays, but they do want to see enough detail to feel confident that you understand what you're getting into and that you will do well on the platform. So do your homework and make sure that you're presenting yourself well. Run it through spell check, right? You can put it in a Word document or a Google Doc or whatever so that you can check it first and then copy and paste it in the box if writing is not your forte. And if writing is your forte, then go ahead. So after this, you're going to create a video. The video should just be 30 to 90 seconds. There are certain video files that won't upload, so you can record a video here, or you can upload it first or create it first and then upload it. Either way is fine. If you're having trouble with the format, you might have to save your video in a different format before you can upload it. So the 2 things that they say here is to show us and show off the space where you will teach. So what that means is not like a room tour, but to let them see that you are set up to do this properly. Now, I also teach online ESL where this is mandatory, which is why I have all this stuff behind me. And I even considered, I was running around seeing if I could find something to cover it when I taught my middle school writing class. So I was like, oh, they're not going to think this is fun. But it was fine. It was cool. They thought it was funny. But anyway, it doesn't have to be this, but it can't be like your bed with laundry piled on it or your kids' playroom with them running around behind you. So if you don't have a backdrop that's specific to teaching, at least find, like if this wall had nothing on it, this would be fine. So you might have to reposition your desk, right? Most of us put the back of the desk against the wall. I had to flip it around. So now my chair, I've got a little cubby for myself, like a little cubicle here, because you want something behind you. It could also be a curtain. People have things that they hang behind them to cover it, or it could be a dry erase board. If you're going to be teaching something like cooking or nature and it's going to be outside, then that could be that space too. But you definitely want to test that because you have to make sure that you're able to be heard and that your internet connection is still good when you're doing that, right? You do need to have an appropriate internet connection. You'll see I'm wearing headphones and a microphone because I have 2 children at home. So it helps cut down on the background noise. It helps filter out the noise for me so I can hear the kids better. So it is worth having a headset. It is very helpful unless you have a really quiet house and don't have screaming children running around like I do. And then lucky you. But anyhow, so think about that as you are recording your video. Use that space. And then what they're trying to get a sense of is your personality. And really, you want this video, this could almost then become your profile video. So remember that you're pitching yourself to Outschool, but they want to see that you can pitch yourself to parents. So talk about why you love teaching. Talk about your favorite things to do. Talk about teaching. Give a little sample lesson. It could include a joke, but it's a short little introduction to who you are. And when you get to your profile, you're going to put up a profile video. So that profile video, if it's the same video, should kind of have that same feel of a parent clicks on that video because they want to see who is this teacher. So if there are 10 algebra teachers, they're going to go through and click on each one and go, all right, this one is boring, and this one appears to be teaching from a dark tunnel, and this one has screaming children in the background, and this one's okay, like I understand everything and it's fine, but this one is so funny. Oh, my kid is going to love to be in this one's class. So you want to make a video that's going to make people choose you. And that, again, doesn't have to be a big bells and whistles. You don't have to do a science experiment, but you need to talk about why you love to do science experiments in this video so that people are excited to come to your class. Okay, this is the part that gets probably the most questions on the online forums. So be thoughtful about it, right? If you were a parent looking to choose a student, or even if you were just the student yourself, what would make you want to take class with you? That's what the video should show in 30 to 90 seconds. Okay, and then we go to your teaching profile, which you can get to before you've been approved. So I created a new account so I could show you what this all looks like. So it doesn't have a profile in it, right? So I need my name. And then this headline or title comes under your name. It's just a cute little it's like your tagline. Like, what is your shtick? What are you here for? What do you do? The about me is longer. Here's where you can talk about the kinds of courses you teach on Outschool or you plan to teach on Outschool, your professional background, and notice to the Outschool community, that kind of comes second. Okay, the values or philosophy behind your teaching. So again, we're talking to parents about this, not to supervisors and administrators if you have a school background. So put it in terms that parents will understand. You want to do things like encouraging individual growth and learning, being responsive to learners' needs, whatever it is that you think you're really great at, you want to highlight that here. So that's the about me. And then here's your intro video. So again, if that's the same video, that could be totally great and one step for you. Now, finally, you have just your basic information here, your phone number, your PayPal email. PayPal is how we are paid. So you do need to have a PayPal account set up, and you're going to put the email for that PayPal account here, and that is all you need to do to be set up to receive your payments from Outschool for your classes. They'll come there automatically. Now, this part here is something that you might not be sure about now and might change later, so don't forget it's here. Every class on Outschool is recorded, and that is for learners' safety. Because you're in class with children, Outschool needs a way to verify if anything inappropriate were to happen, or if you were to be accused of anything, or if a student were to complain about anything. So every class is recorded. That recording goes to you, and then you are able to share it. So if you have a student who's absent one day, you can share the video with just that student if this is set to off. If it's set to on, then whenever your class ends and Zoom processes the video, it's going to automatically be posted to your classroom. Every student who's registered for that section of that class, whether they attended or not, is going to be able to see it and watch it. So I have it set to on because I don't want to have to worry about finding the video, getting the whatever it is. I would just like it to be there. But you may have a different opinion about that or a different preference or plan for that. The videos are recorded. That is not an option to turn the recording off, but the sharing of the recording to the students automatically is your choice. You can do that as a one-off or you can do that automatically here. Your location is important because we have learners from around the world, so it's important that your time zone is correct. And when you set the time for your class sections, when we talk about sections, make sure that you're looking at AM and PM because it goes all around the clock. Then we have email settings. You can change which emails you receive. They send a lot of emails, so this is new, and I haven't set it up yet to turn things off, but take a look at what's there. And then you can connect with Facebook as well, which makes it easy to participate in our community and to share your classes as well. Outschool will market them for you, but if you want to share them to groups that you're a part of, this is a really great way to be able to do that. So these are the steps to creating an application and a profile. And then once you have this set up, you need to wait for your application to be approved. After your application is approved, you will see a pop-up that you need to go through the background check experience. You'll get an email about that. That's an outside company that does that for you. And Outschool really doesn't have any control over how long that takes. It depends on where you are and all of that. But that will happen as quickly as possible. Once the background check is cleared, then you will be released to teach.